In my opinion, Ruslan has some very bad analogies in some circumstances. I think he is off key here for sure. Seems to be a chosen apologist. I don't know why. I'm not sure like what he's gaining from that. But we're just going to review his review of Dallas's response.
Like that, there's no promotion of anything happening, unlike some of the headlines and some of the hysterical rantings we've seen. Now, again, not everyone who comments on this is hysterical. I'm not saying that. Many of you have very legitimate and fair questions.
So he says that was a mistake, and then obviously a 3-inch flag is not, it's not the same.
And it really doesn't matter the size of the flag. The fact is the point of what the flag represents. It's a symbol. It's a satanic symbol. And Ruslan may even disagree with that, but satanic doctrine, satanic belief system, pride, it's the sin of the devil, one of the 7 deadly sins. It is awful. If you're too prideful, you won't even be saved. People who are going to hell end up going to hell. They're going there because of their pride.
People have asked me about what would I do in my own situation, and I was very transparent. If you guys had watched my previous video, that our mixing engineer, the guy that mixes all of my music,
here we go with a really bad analogy,
is not a Christian. Our mixing engineer is a big consumer of cannabis. Our mixing engineer is also a Palestinian who I have strong disagreements on the whole Israel-Palestinian conflict. And so to me, this would be similar of me having him work on some stuff, him putting something on, and maybe me sharing it. And in the background, there's some weed smoke and there's a Palestinian flag in the background. So
okay, that is a really bad analogy. And it's a straw man because let me know in the comments what you think. But would you be as outraged if you was watching one of Ruslan's mixes or some behind the scenes work and you saw some weed smoke in the background and you saw a Palestinian flag? Compare that to the pride flag. Okay, I'm not saying weed smoke is good. Should be in a Christian video. I'm not saying the Palestinian flag is like, it's not Christian by itself, but the pride flag is an idol. It's a symbol that represents egregious evil in the world right now. Comparing that to a Palestinian flag, which is just a flag of a nation, and weed smoke. Yeah, I wouldn't like to see weed smoke on Ruslan's videos. I'd be like, why is there weed smoke? If he explained it, I'd be like, okay, this is your producer. Cool. And the Palestinian flag, I probably wouldn't even complain about that. But the pride flag, whenever I see that, it makes me sick. And if I ever see that on a Christian set or some kind of work that's involved with somebody that's saying, hey, this is Christian, we're promoting it as Christian, we have a Christian mission, and that pride flag is involved in any way, that makes me really upset. And I don't think those two can be compared. I don't know what he's going on about, but that's a straw man. He's attacking an argument that we haven't even made, that is an analogy that doesn't even seem to compare. We are so mad at the pride flag being on the set and Dallas seemingly defending it because of what the pride flag represents. Weed smoke and the Palestinian flag is not a good comparison. It wouldn't cause a similar amount of outrage.
Having him work on some stuff, him putting something on, and maybe me sharing it, and in the background, there's some weed smoke and there's a Palestinian flag in the background. To me, it would be a similar thing as that.
Not to me.
If he were to post something on Instagram stories of a snippet of one of my latest songs, I share it, and then in the shot, there's some smoke, there's a Palestinian flag, there's some other stuff that I don't fully endorse, but I was just excited to show people the progress on the song. I think that's a similar parallel than someone coming in, flying a flag, pride.
Ruslan goes overboard sometimes, y'all. It's like he's mocking the whole situation. It doesn't matter how small the pride flag is. It's just that it's on the set. And that is being defended. Okay, it's on the set. Legally, Dallas probably couldn't just take the pride flag off, say, hey, this can't be on here. He probably couldn't do that. But it's the whole reaction that Christians are upset about. The reaction of how Dallas responded. The reaction of how the actors responded defending the guy. The reaction of how Dallas responded saying, this is family and I will fight for them. I will fight to defend my family in war against them. It's like a defense against their ideologies. And he says he doesn't promote the ideology of pride. He's still considering these people family.
Flag in the studio. That's not what was happening. It's a 3-inch flag that was in 4 seconds. So if
Size doesn't matter. If you have 100-foot image of Baal on a set of The Chosen, or a 3-inch image of Baal on The Chosen, and for y'all who don't know, Baal was a idol, a god that was worshipped by the pagans in the Old Testament, maybe the New Testament too, I don't think, but specifically I know the Old Testament, Baal was an idol who was worshipped. They had carvings and just physical idols of Baal. Doesn't matter the size of the Baal idol, it's the fact of what Baal represents. So the 3-inch stuff, it doesn't even matter. It could be 3 centimeters.
If I was in the same situation, I probably would have been a bit more careful about what I shared. But if I was in the same situation, I shared it and I didn't catch that, oh no, there's a bunch of weed smoke in the background and there's a Palestinian flag or some sort of flag I don't agree with. I think it would be closer parallel to that, and I would have tried to be careful on the front end, but if it happened on the back end, I wouldn't be losing my mind over 4 seconds that someone could take in frame, which, by the way, this has happened to The Chosen forever. People are always finding something to nitpick and be upset about, and they've also consistently been very clear that they do.
I'm literally not finding something to nitpick. I was not hating The Chosen before this or not in full support of it, because I knew they were interacting with different Mormon characters and backers and leaders of the show. But I wasn't like, this is the most evil thing in the world either. But after this whole situation, I'm like, I believe The Chosen is actually compromised now. Unless a change is taking place. Unless Dallas changes some things that he's doing, some policies, unless he makes takes some actual action to prevent this in the future, then I'd be like, okay, God may be moving and helping for things to go in the right direction. But until something changes, and this stuff is allowed, an idol in comparison to Baal. That's how me and a lot of Christians who are outraged about this, we see the pride flag. We see it as no different than an idol of Baal or Molech, however you say it. And the world sees it as okay. It's everywhere. It's in Target. It's in all these big companies.
You work with non-Christian actors, non-Christian contractors, and anyone that's ever done anything creative, especially at any sort of scale, will acknowledge that this is not uncommon to have folks that aren't Christian working on Christian projects.
That's fine. We're not saying that you can't work with non-Christians. It's just that non-Christians who are actively promoting sinful lifestyles, pushing it in our faces, because that's what the pride flag is. It's pushing their lifestyle in our faces. So that's what a flag is. You're waving it around. Hey, look at this. Look at what I believe in and support and promote. Look at this. I am proud of this whole lifestyle. And it's on a Christian set. And you know what? If I was a genuine born again Christian and I was working on The Chosen set, you know what? Seeing that pride flag on the set, that would affect me. That would affect my acting. I would feel like I am now in a hostile work environment because now you're pushing a belief, making me see it, promoting an image and a symbol that represents a satanic lifestyle that goes exactly against what I believe and what I stand for and what I'm working towards and the mission that I'm working towards by producing this show that's supposed to be spreading the message and the love of Jesus. And I see a pride flag on set, and I'm supposed to be acting in a show that represents the gospel of Jesus Christ. I would see that as a hostile work environment. So yes, it's not just something simple.
Just saying that when you look on social media, you're always going to be shown the most engaging and eye-catching and clickbaity headlines, and it's, I'm sure, going to throw you off sometimes and cause some confusion. So in our...
All these bass drops by Ruslan, man, I think he overuses the bass drops.
Now or never, all or nothing time.
I know nitpicking right there, but he just does it too much. Come on, Ruslan. Get a different sound effect or something.
Times this turned into a bit of a culture war, intra-Christian culture war.
Of course.
And we're getting compared to companies that actively promote whatever woke agenda that people are concerned about.
And this is by far the most L take in all of this, is comparing The Chosen to Target and Bud Light.
Wait, how is that an L take when it's literally they're promoting the same? They're allowing it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. Target is promoting pride. These other companies are promoting pride in their commercials and everything, but it's not too far off. It's similar in the sense that Dallas is like, this is okay. And then you have the actors of The Chosen that essentially represent the brand affirming the LGB. Dallas says he doesn't specifically affirm it, but the actors do, as you probably seen the tweets. And it's similar, so you can draw some comparisons there, even though it's not the exact same thing. But let me state, it is worth a boycott. I believe it's worth a boycott.
That's a complete disaster and absolutely false equivalency. Hey, before we go on any further,
He said absolutely a false equivalency when he just did one, comparing the pride flag being on set to his Palestinian guy with the weed smoke and the Palestinian flag. That's a false equivalency.
And unless people are jerks or don't work hard, we are a huge, we're a family. We're very tight-knit.
And if we look at some comments on his video, I just want to go over some of these that really make sense. The thing is, when people who have donated big amounts of money to The Chosen, which is a reality, it started off as crowdfunding. Now they're with Lionsgate, so they may not need the money of us now. But it started out as crowdfunding. They request donations all the time. People back them. People who are complaining back them with their money, their hard-earned money. To The Chosen asked why this isn't a shot. The response was abrupt and odd, very abrupt and odd, and condescending. Dallas, to me, came off as pretty condescending. He literally said, you should thank these people who are working so hard for you. That's condescending. Everyone has the right to their own beliefs and opinions. The choice is theirs, how they run The Chosen. However, when people are donating a lot of money to something for the good of the kingdom, or in their mind, that's how they may feel. They don't expect something on a set, in a clip, behind the scenes, or otherwise that disrespects and goes against the word of Christ that this show is meant to be representing. Exactly. D Stone said, I can see how this can be perceived as a problem. If somebody was wearing a t-shirt with a satanic symbol on it that says Satan uses pronouns, would that be allowed? Where exactly do we draw the line? Like, where do we draw the line? And again, the Palestinian flag and the weed smoke is nothing in comparison to the pride flag or satanic symbol on a shirt that says Satan uses pronouns. Christ doesn't and can't get preached with a flag that symbolizes a sin that diametrically and foundationally opposes God's created order. In a month dedicated to celebrate pride, which is essentially spitting in God's face. Amen to that. And here we go. I get your point. It's okay to hire and use them. Yes, I agree. But the pagans of old didn't carve idols of Baal into the great temple. They shouldn't have pride flags on the set. And Ruslan said, a 3-inch pride flag on somebody's personal property is not that. Harping on the whole 3-inch, the smallness of the flag, which doesn't really matter as we went over. Okay, so a small 3-inch Baal idol is okay in the temple. Ooh, that's a W take right there. That is a W take. Because I'm sure God would not allow that, want that. No matter if the pagans were working to help build the temple of God, which Ruslan used that scripture to back up his position, which is a scripture that it stands. But I'm sure God would not want idols of Baal carved into his temple or in his temple, no matter how big or small it is. Now I want to go over this channel called Life After Neverland. I watched a video by them. They made a video discussing the whole situation, the reaction to Dallas. They basically based their whole channel off of The Chosen. They were huge supporters. Look at this. They're doing Bible studies. So The Chosen made Bible study materials. They actually bought them and probably supported the show financially when they were doing crowdfunding. And look at the whole channel is like about The Chosen. So it's like people saying that people are just nitpicking, waiting for The Chosen to mess up and just calling them out just because they're hating on the show. That's not it. People have legitimate concerns. Supporters, whole supporters of The Chosen, devote their time, energy, and money into this show, basing their whole channel off of it.
He's got a lot on his plate. He probably doesn't have a lot of time, and this is just exhausting to him, and we get that. But what it appears to us is that Lionsgate and all the profit that's coming in, and it's not trying to be rude, like the strangers and making the comments about your fans that are making clickbait, they're not. And maybe they do need to get people's attention. I don't know, because I'm not them, but they're passionate about it because you involved us in your product.
Exactly. This is the point that Ruslan is missing. People like this that you're watching right now supported the show, based their whole channel around it. She got her whole Bible studies from The Chosen and everything. She's still doing them, by the way. And this whole situation just changed their mindset about The Chosen. because it wasn't handled properly.
You asked us to help. And so now we are investors in, or we're investors in your product. And I think that warrants you considering our feelings in a compassionate, loving way.
And
Do you I guess that's the best way I can articulate it.
And just, I don't want to say playing dumb or staying neutral and just be like, hey, we're just an independent production. The product speaks for itself. But no, your actions speak for themselves.
But when you have a business, isn't your heart, what's behind your heart and what's behind the reason why you're doing it, what makes it so wonderful and amazing? Because now that just got taken away from me. It's literally just a blank, it's just okay, I'm gonna be honest, if there's no passion behind the Lord and no love for Jesus and the Word and your fan base that are Christian, because it is a Christian show and you are making ministry products that you're selling.
Dallas says it's not a ministry, but look at these ministerial based products right here, these Bible studies and everything
That we're paying for, and we're spending our time being fishermen of men because that's the message that your show brings out, and that's not important to you.
And that's exactly
I don't know what to say.
And that's exactly what I was just saying a second ago, is you can say the show speaks for itself, but the actions of those incorporated the show also play part in things. And you can say it doesn't. They're independent contractors like any other film set. No, this isn't any other film set. This isn't Supernatural. This isn't the news. Like, this is a TV show that is leading the way for speaking out for Jesus. And people are going to be very passionate about that.
For people to be confused about how your staff is being disrespectful to your product, but then also your clients love Jesus. Like, they love Jesus. And so when they see that, they feel like that's slapping him in the face. So I'm confused as to why you're confused about that. I'm confused, and I'm saying that to Dallas. I'm confused as to why you don't respect that. And then just address it. Like really address that. But instead, it's, you guys do this, just accept it. I don't care what you guys think. I don't do what I do because of you. You don't do what you do because of us. Then why are you asking us to help? I guess we don't help anymore. That's what people are saying. That's why they're frustrated. It's like, I've given my life, pieces of me to,
which is what they did. I just showed you the whole channel.
You. And you have said, #chosen family. You'll go to war for your family that works on the set, but you won't go to war for us. I don't even expect you to go to war for me. I just want you to understand and listen and be respectful of it. I don't want to be rude and disrespectful to Dallas. I don't.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I did not like Ruslan's response to this whole thing. I thought the analogies were bad. Logical fallacies, straw mans were thrown around. It just wasn't done well. Yeah, it was in bad taste. So, yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share your comments down below. Subscribe. Share this with your friends. We got to speak out. We can't just accept all this stuff from the woke LGBT community, lukewarmness from the Christian community. We cannot just accept it all. It's just going to get worse quicker if that's the case. So y'all are doing good, reacting and pushing back against all this stuff. Till next time, God bless.